Hey, welcome everybody, and thank you for joining us during this webinar. Of course, you see a beautiful picture of two good-looking guys there. One is Dr. Peter, and of course, the better-looking guy is on the other side, and that's Dr. George, and that's me. We started this practice management system about a year ago, and we decided that there was a need in our profession to help chiropractors who are having challenges, such as not having fun in practice, the feeling one day runs into another, the loss of passion and excitement for helping people, prisoners by insurance companies waiting to get paid, playing the credit card shuffle to pay expenses, lack of patient follow through, living day to day with no plan for the future, and staff not being supportive. And I have found over this past year that it is very interesting that when I speak to chiropractors, that basically a lot of the chiropractors are facing a lot of these challenges that I have mentioned below. We are not a cookie cutter system, so each practice is evaluated, each doctor is evaluated, each team is evaluated, and we come together to form a program for each individual practice. That's our unique factor. It's not just one system fits all. Each practice is taken individually, and we design a program which will help and affect each practice in a positive manner. Unfortunately, I had some bad news over this last period of time, and two very important people and things had passed away that meant a lot to me. And I would like to share my grief because I'm sure that once I show you the people and what I'm talking about, that most all of you will know who I'm talking about. Yes, the death of a chiropractor. Here lies a could have, would have, and should have chiropractor. He died a slow death filled with debt, lack of vision, and blame. His nemesis was procrastination, fear, anger, self-doubt, no plan, no procedures, no vision, reactive rather than proactive. Yes, doctors, this is what's happening to a lot of the doctors who are in practice today. You ask, well, then, George, how come they're not seeking help? Part of it could be ego. Part of it could be that they've tried other management services and just couldn't click with the person that they had as a coach. I can't give you the answers. I know one thing, that patient building block system is the answer to all of these things that I've just mentioned, which have killed the chiropractor. You can remember back, doctor, when you were in school and you were excited about getting out and you had the passion and you had the zeal and the excitement for helping people. I ask you right now, what's happened? What has happened? What has caused you to lose that excitement for being a chiropractor? I can tell you that I've been there. I know what a lot of you are going through. It almost got so bad one time that I had contemplated that it was time to end my life. And thank God that I had 4 children, and I looked at their picture and I said, George, what are you doing? I also thank God that I had a coach. His name was Dr. Charles Ward, who I owe every ounce of success that I have had in practice to Dr. Charles Ward. And with his blessing and with his help, he energized me and he encouraged me to go out and help other chiropractors. The next funeral that I was the death of a chiropractic practice. The light has burned out. You have no more excitement. You don't see the vision. You don't see the calling. Remember, doctors, this is not something you think that you chose for yourself. Well, you're sadly mistaken. This is something that was chosen by a greater power that has attracted you to be a chiropractor. Have you lost your calling? You've been called to serve humanity, to serve people, to help people who are suffering and in need, It's not about getting paid by the insurance companies. It's not about copays and deductibles. It's not about all that stuff that has buried the chiropractor and the chiropractic practice, which has died a painful and slow death. Why? Because you're having poor results, not caring for the patient's need. You're not educating the patients. You have a staff rather than a team. Doctors and team have no purpose. There's so many holes in the bucket. There's systems out there right now that are, sometimes I want to jump out and shoot them with some of these Facebook ads. We can guarantee you 50 new patients a month. Doctors, if you're getting 50 new patients a month and you're losing another 50 because you have poor procedures and you have poor follow through, you have zero gain. Nothing. You've gained nothing. So just because you're getting new patients in and you're not taking care of the patients you have, at the end of the year, you say, oh, wow, you know what? Hey, look, I saw 100 new patients. Yeah, but let's look at the other stat. How many did you lose? Oh, I lost 120. So you're down 20 patients. So stop buying the madness of it's all about new patients. It's all about taking care of the patients that you have, educating the patients, having your team have the passion, having you have the passion to educate your patients. Well, you don't understand, George. They don't want to be educated. Yes, they do. They might not want to sit in a spinal healthcare class like they did in the 70s and 80s. Okay, I won't argue that, but they still want to be educated. So whether you give a organized class or whether you table talk and educate them, or you spend time during the discussion period, which is usually known as a report of finding, educating the patient, education has to happen. First, you have to meet the patient where they are, and then you have to slowly bring them and change their paradigm to where you want them to be. Well, what are the rescue techniques? You need to take action now. It's not something that you can take your time about it. You need to make a decision right now, this moment, as I speak to you. Put it in your mind that you are going to take action now. Examine your concerns. Write them down on a piece of paper. And I can guarantee you that if you write down your concerns and you start to think solutions, those concerns will begin to leave. Dr. Ward's favorite adage would be, how do you eat an elephant? You cut them up in small pieces. So cut your problems up in small pieces. Put it in a system in which the ones that need priority immediately to be taken care of have to be organized and taken care of, and then work from that list down. Forgive. Who am I going to forgive? Forgive yourself. Stop beating yourself up. Start giving yourself credit. When you apply the adjustment and you release the power that made the body to heal the body, you are doing such miraculous work for God. And if you don't have that attitude that when you walk into that adjusting room, you are a representative of that power, guess what? You're just punching people in the back. It's not about punching people in the back. It's about removing that interference, which is interfering from that power above to come within that body so that body can heal and work properly. I can tell you we live in a subluxated world, that I can tell you that if 100% of our leaders were getting adjusted, that a lot of these problems would probably go away. It's our job as chiropractors. That's our mission. That's our calling. Are you doing daily affirmations? How are you talking to yourself? Are you beating yourself up all the time? Or are you constantly affirming the positive? You need to affirm the positive. You need to wake up each morning and thank God and thank the power that made the body and heals the body, that is giving you that opportunity to go to, I don't want to call it work, because for me it's not work, going in service to help other people get better. Prioritize your goals and your needs and your wants. Put a start date and put a completion date. Something in your mind that's not written down on a piece of paper and it's not given a priority, and you don't have a start date and a finish date, is a wish. Place a system in your office, and that's why patient building block system comes into play. We will help you place a system in your office which will help you reach the goals that you want. Set attainable and realistic goals. Oh, I've set goals, but they don't work. Well, they don't work because one, probably you've set unattainable goals. So, for example, I weigh today 230 pounds, and by Monday, I want to lose 20 pounds and I want to be 210. I just shot myself in the foot. There's no way I'm going to lose 20 pounds in a week's time. So, you have to set attainable and realistic goals. Stay calm. Dr. Ward used to say to me, George, are you willing to accept the worst that can happen? And sometimes I used to say to myself, what's this guy, crazy or what? And as I grew up and I matured, he was right. If I'm willing to accept the worst that can happen, then I could be calm and develop a program that will help me get to where I want to be. But if I'm hysterical, if I'm not calm, if I have anger and anguish and stuff, I'll never be able to see the light at the end of the tunnel. You want a booming practice? Well, you have to be a learner. I give myself credit that I've been in practice 39 years and I continue to learn, whether it be when I was with Dr. Ward going to his seminars or going to technique seminars or going to personal improvement seminars or reading good books and listening to good CDs. I'm always learning. I want to learn. I want to expand my mind. Success begins with your mindset. Make sure you connect with the patient. It's not all about you. That first visit is all about the patient. The patient doesn't want to know about BJ Palmer. He doesn't want to know about D.D. Palmer or Harvey Littler. He or she are coming in with a pain, a discomfort, a problem, something that is interfering with their quality of life. You need to connect with that patient first at that level, and then slowly you could bring them to the level that you want them. Tell the story. Be passionate about chiropractic. Love chiropractic. People like to go where other people go. So I was in Disney World with the kids about 2 weeks ago with my grandchildren and my son and my daughter-in-law and my wife. And, I'm walking around and I used to think that Dr. Ward was crazy when he used to say, oh yeah, Linda used to go shopping and, I'd stay outside and I'd just talk to people. So I said, hey, you know what? Maybe it works. So as we were walking through Disney World and the kids were going on rides or different things, I would chat with some people and I would ask them, how many times have you been here? Oh, we've been here 3 or 4 times. Yeah, we came back this time and we brought the grandparents, or we brought my brother and sister and his family. Why are you doing that? Because really, this is a fun place to be. Is your office a fun place to be? Is your office a place where other people want to come? Have team training and meetings. Walt Disney always used to have team training and meetings. Always. That's why Disney World and Disneyland all over the world works like a time clock, because the team is trained. Everybody's on the same mission. Everybody wants to make the guests happy. So if you're not having team training and team meetings, you are not going to be able to grow your practice. What are you keeping a secret? You want to keep your success a secret from your team? No, you want them to be engaged in part of your success. Share your wins with your team. Always share the wins with your team. For example, we have a patient, Mary Jean, and Mary Jean has had breast cancer. She had been to several chiropractors who did not want to touch her because she had cancer and they were scared to adjust her. Her husband was a patient. He asked me what I thought, and I said, Ernie, bring her in. I can help her. Well, when she first came in, she was miserable. She didn't want to talk to me. She would look away from me. She's been a patient for 2 years. And I can tell you the transformation that happened in this patient, not only with her body being able to function better, but her whole personality changed. Why? Because we're removing subluxations. Her inner being is being released. She's excited about life again. Where everybody else gave her no hope, we gave her hope. Share this with your patients. Share this with your team. Make sure your patients, make sure you pay attention to your current patients. All patients should be on a schedule of care. It doesn't work this way. Hey, Mary, I need to see you 3 times a week. I'll see you Wednesday. She comes in Wednesday. She doesn't come in Friday. She doesn't come in Monday. And a couple of weeks later, you go to your team. Hey, what happened to Mary? I don't know, doctor. What happened to Mary? Well, no one knows what happened to Mary because she wasn't on a schedule. So how are you supposed to know what happened to Mary? Every patient is put on a schedule of care. You give them a calendar. You reaffirm to them that you right now have given them a time which has been set aside for them so that they can come in and receive the chiropractic care that is needed for them. 3 key building blocks to obtaining and keeping new patients. Enjoy the experience. Enjoy being a chiropractor. Enjoy it. Just like you had the excitement when you first got out of school and you were going to change the world. Why have you let insurance companies dictate to you how many visits you could see? Oh, well, they're only covered 12 visits. I don't care if they covered 1 visit. I don't care if they covered no visits. That doesn't change my approach on how I am going to educate the patient and give them value for why they have to come and see me. Make yourself known in the community. Don't sit behind your office and think that, oh, I've been here 20 years, people should know me. No, no one knows you. If you're not involved in your community, if you're not involved in the Little League, in church groups, and in different things, no one knows you. People like to go where other people go. People like to go where other people go. So whether it be church, whether it be a baseball, whether it be something else, people like to go where other people go. Once you have enough people coming to you, they are going to bring others. Our motto in PBS is build it and they will come. Yeah, I know I stole it from someone, but that's okay. That's true. Build it and they will come. What are you building? What kind of practice are you building? What do you want, first of all? Have you ever sat down and really put it on paper and really visualized it and set up a program to see what you want? Make your practice welcoming. That's the amazing thing about going to Disney World. You feel welcome. Even if there's a glitch, they still make you feel welcome. So Joanne and I arrived with our family there, and they messed up our room reservation. So Joanne was upset, and she was ready to talk to the manager the next day, and she wanted free this, free that. So that night, when we came back from the park, they had a box of chocolates with a little note saying, "Dear Mr. and Mrs. Scordilis, we're sorry that we made a mistake, and we promise you that we will have your room ready tomorrow. Please accept this small gift as our token of appreciation for you spending time with us at Disney World." Well, I can tell you one thing, that diffused Joanne big time. Why? Because they owned up to the mistake and then they did something about it. So patients have to feel welcome. Your team has to welcome them. When a patient walks in, identify the patient by name. You shouldn't have your girls buried in the computer. Patient comes in and the CA points to the sign-in thing and then points to where the patient should sit. Acknowledge them. Get your head out of the computer and put the patient on hold if you're on the phone and say, "Hi, Mary. Thank you for coming today. Dr. B, we were right with you." Solicit referrals. Do not be scared to ask for referrals. Now, I don't suggest you ask for referrals on the first visit, but by your first reevaluation, your first re-exam, you should have had the confidence and you should have built a rapport with the patient to be able to ask for referrals from the patient. You have to change their paradigm on health and wellness. They're thinking sickness, disease, symptoms, and we're thinking a whole different thing. It's not done with only one class. One class doesn't change the patient's paradigm. I can tell you there's chiropractors that sat in the same classroom as I did for 3.5 years, and guess what? They still don't get it. They still don't get it after 3.5 years. So how can you expect after one class that your patient's going to get it? You have to take time and nurture the patient and educate them. That's why there should be a whiteboard in your adjusting room with sayings. and bringing that whiteboard saying to the attention of the patient. And what do I write on the right whiteboard? Oh, do you think a lack of aspirins cause headaches? And you bring it to the patient's attention and say, Mary, what do you think? Said, oh, doc, I never thought about it. Well, good. That gives you an opportunity to do a 1-minute education on headaches and aspirin and chiropractic. Do evaluations on a regular basis. Patient walks in the first day and then doesn't ever get a reevaluation. What's your criteria for cutting them down, doctor? Have they made any improvement or haven't they? You have to always touch base. We like to do it in our office every 12 visits. Do discussions after each evaluation. I don't call it report of findings anymore. I call it a discussion. Why? Because I am having a discussion with the patient. So after each evaluation, you set up an appointment, you have a discussion, and you start them with the new care program that you're going to put them on. What about the mouse? Well, this little mouse made Walt Disney famous. He had his program, he had his little mouse, but he took this little mouse and he ran with it so that anywhere in the world, anybody sees this mouse, they know who the mouse is. Walt Disney created Mickey Mouse after Universal had stolen his first animation of Oswald the Rabbit. Oswald the Rabbit was Walt's creation, and he was going to build a whole theme around this rabbit. Universal had stolen it from him and had used it. Walt was upset. He was really looking forward to using the rabbit, but within days, he created the mouse, and he gave him life and a unique character. So, how many times have you had things in your office happen, and how long have you dwelt on it? If you were like Walt, within a day or two, you got over it and you moved forward. All the adversity I've had in my life, all my troubles and obstacles have strengthened me. You may not realize it when it happens, but a kick in the teeth may be the best thing in the world for you, Walt Disney. How many times have you gotten kicked in the teeth, doctor? What have you done about it? Have you sat there and sucked your thumb? Or like Dr. Ward said to me one time, George, should I get you a bib and buy you a pacifier? So it's no time to suck your thumb and put the bib on. It's time to take action. Successful people make mistakes. If you don't think that's true, well, start reading some books and you'll see from Walt Disney all the way to Henry Ford to all other great people have made mistakes. They've used those mistakes to propel them to move forward. Ideas come to us at various moments if you are open to them. What had happened was Walt's idea of Disneyland happened while he was sitting on a park bench at Griffith Park in California. He watched families and friends come to the park and ride the carousel and enjoy each other's company. At this point, he came up with an idea. Wouldn't it be a great place to have a theme park where all the families could gather and enjoy their time together? He had two choices: ignore it as a stupid idea and who would come, or begin to dream, believe, dare, and do. How many times do you have ideas, doctors, at 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock in the morning, 4 o'clock, 1 o'clock, and you dismiss them and you say, oh, you know what? When I get up in the morning, I'll write it down or I'll take action. Well, let me tell you, by the time you wake up in the morning, you say, what was that idea that came to me? When God comes knocking at the door, don't shut the door. When innate intelligence and universal intelligence are working in harmony, don't shut the door. Open the door. Have a pad and pen by you. Dr. Ward used to say this all the time, and I'd say, wow, doesn't he have anything else better to talk about? He says this every seminar. Nope, he was right. And every time I talk to you, I will tell you the same thing. When the ideas come, be open to them, write them down, Get up the next morning, look at it, and begin to brainstorm. If you need help brainstorming, call another fellow positive chiropractor or friend. Do not share your dreams with dream busters. Dream busters are the ones that say to you, nah, that was a dopey idea. Nah, you know what? No one's going to buy that. Nah. And plenty of people told that to Walt. Who's going to come to a park? For what? For a mouse? You got to be crazy, Walt. It's not going to happen. Well, thank God that Walt didn't listen to anybody. And we have these beautiful theme parks that we're able to enjoy our families and enjoy our children and grandchildren. Open your mind to the possibilities. Write down 2 ideas that have come to you recently and you dismissed. So hopefully you have a piece of paper right now. I'm going to give you 30 seconds. Write down 2 ideas that have come to you recently and you've dismissed. Some of you say, you know what? I don't know. I can't remember the ideas. Okay, so next time when the idea comes, piece of paper and pen by your bed. Write down an idea that would change your practice right now. So again, take 20 seconds. Write down an idea that you feel would change your practice. Could be a simple idea like maybe I should clean the office. Maybe I should get new tables. Maybe the chairs in the reception area are tattered and torn and maybe I need to change the chairs. My carpet is dirty and I need to clean it. You know, every time I go to the bathroom, it's messy and there's not toilet paper there or there's not paper towels so that the patient can wipe their hand. Simple ideas. Or I play loud music and I need to play more relaxing music. Write an idea down that would change your practice right now. Now, just because you write it down, if you don't take action on it, again, you might as well take that piece of paper and use it for toilet paper. Anything that you don't take action on is wasted. What are you willing to do to achieve the practice that you deserve? What are you willing to do, doctor? What are you willing to sacrifice? I can tell you many years ago, I was almost in bankruptcy. They were ready to repossess my car. And the thing that kicked me in the teeth, like Walt says, was I was walking to my home. I had my youngest son. He was 5 years old. And the cable company was following us into the house. And the guy was there to shut off the cable. And my son said to me, I'm not going to be able to watch TV, Dad. That was the one thing that kicked me in the teeth and got me to wake up. And the next thing was we went to a computer to buy a computer and my credit got denied. And I had my 3 children at the time that were looking forward to get their first computer and I couldn't deliver. Our secretary, Linda, at the time had a used computer and she gave it to us. But those are the 2 impacting times in my life that I said, wow, it's time to wake up, George. Thank God I had a coach. Thank God I had somebody that loved me. Thank God I had someone that cared about me. Thank God I had a supportive wife that said to me, George, you could do it. And you know what? I have never, ever turned around and looked back. I've just constantly have moved forward. Who are the key players to help you accomplish your goals? Do you need a coach? Oh, I don't need a coach. Oh, those coaches, they rip you off. You know, I can tell you one thing. Tom Brady has a coach, has a quarterback coach. Aaron Rodgers has a coach. All great people have coaches. Now you have to find the right person that you can be congruent with that will help you grow. The only way by having a mentor or a coach is you need to open your mind. When I went to Dr. Ward, I didn't say I'm going to do it George's way because guess what? For 6 years that I was in practice, it wasn't working for George's way. I was like an empty glass and he was just pouring information into my head and I was acting on it and my practice changed. Well, what happened, George? How'd you get in the mess that you were? No, I started buying the lies because the HMOs and PPOs started coming in. I stopped going to ward success systems. I stopped doing the things that made me successful. And of course, we had a downward spiral. And I had too big of an ego to admit that, George Skrdillis, I don't need help. Oh, I needed a lot of help. And by the time I got back to Dr. Ward, I was on life support systems. And thank God he revived me and brought me back to where I am today. So who are the key players to help you accomplish your goals? You decide that. We are here at Patient Building Block Systems to help you do that. If you reach out to us, what are the tools you are lacking to accomplish your goal? What do you need? Do you need a coach? Do you need to get more organized? Do you need to take more time in the practice? Are you willing to take action? What are you willing to sacrifice in your life today so that you can have a better life tomorrow? I can't make that decision. I know what I had to do and what I had to sacrifice. And looking back, after 39 years of practice, I can tell you that it was worth every sacrifice that I made. I'm living the dream, and I love living the dream. I'm excited about going to the office every day. I'm excited about caring for patients every day. I don't operate out of lack. I operate out of abundance. I don't operate out of fear. I operate out of strength. I choose the patients that I want to be in my office, first mentally and then physically. I choose who I attract into my office. I choose what I attract into my life. I used to let other things dictate to me what was going to happen in my life. No more. I've taken ownership a long time ago. There's nothing that comes into my life that I don't allow. Applying the Walt Disney principle. If you can dream it, you can do it. Walt was a great man. And if you have time, get some of his books and read them. They will be inspiring. They will open your mind. And this guy was a genius. He was a genius. Everyone is important. Everybody that walks through that gate in Disney World, Disneyland, or wherever Disney is throughout the world, everyone is important. They have trained greeters to greet you. They acknowledge you as you walk into the park. They know your guests. Now with computerization and stuff, when you're wearing this bracelet, as soon as you're scanned in, your name pops up. They say to you, "Good morning, George," or "Good afternoon, Joanne." They acknowledge you as a guest. Make yourself available. Be available. Don't hide yourself in an adjusting room. Be available for your patients. Make your team available. Your team has to connect as you have to connect with your patients. You have to connect, and the team has to connect. Listen to your guests. Oh, George, come on. Patients always complain. Sorry, guess what? They pay the bills. They keep you in the lifestyle that you have. So sometimes you have to bite your lower lip, listen to them, educate them, because one happy customer is better than one dissatisfied customer. One dissatisfied patient will tell 10 to 12 other patients, "Don't go to that place, Skrdillis Chiropractic. Oh no, they ripped me off last time I was there." Make your guests feel special. How do you do that? You welcome them. You give them a welcoming bag. So after we do the discussion portion, which is done on the third visit, we give them a welcome bag, which has different things in the bag to welcome them to our office. Connect with your guest. Find something that you can connect with the patient and build on that. Maybe it's a fellow patient that referred you. Maybe you play softball and he plays softball. Maybe you guys are in the same bowling league, whatever. Connect with your patient. Develop a common bond with your guest. Have them enjoy and develop a perceived value. What's the perceived value about going to Disney World? Guess what? It's fun. That's the perceived value. Every time I go to Disney World, even at my age of 65, I had fun. So, what's the perceived value when the patient comes into the office? What can you give them? And what can they get out of it, the adjustment that they now perceive is something that they need for the rest of their lives? Create the wow factor. Make sure that they are always wowed. It's all about team. The best trained team helps the doctor or the businessman get to where they want to go. So, have team meetings. You have to have a meeting with the team. It is not like Dr. Ward used to say, it's not a gripe session. This is not something in which we nitpick. This is a meeting, okay, where we discuss what's going on in the office. Are we having any challenges? If we're having challenges and you're bringing it up, like Dr. Ward says, you better have the solution, or don't come to a meeting with a challenge. Team training. Everybody in Disney World goes through a team meeting regularly and team training regularly. Are you training your team? Are you spending the time? Oh, I don't want to do that. I get out of the office at 7 o'clock. I want to go home. Or I don't want to give up my lunchtime to train my team. Well, guess what? An untrained team doesn't win. You can't go to the Super Bowl unless you're trained. All successful businesses, all successful teams have team meetings and team training. Team brainstorming. Do you allow the team to participate and so that you can brainstorm an idea on how you're going to be able to move this practice forward? Team mission statement. Do you have a mission statement? Is it congruent? Did the whole team take part in developing the mission statement? You have to align your long-term vision with your short-term execution. This is where I want to go, but for me to get there, I have to do A, B, C, and D. And you have to have a time period in which is a start and completion so that you can move towards that which you have set up as a goal to accomplish. Have off-site activities to build team bonding. Dr. Ward used to suggest this all the time, that as we come to the end of the year, pick a location in which you could be off-site, take your team there, spend time with them, 5, 6, 7 hours, in which you can have some team meetings, some training, some brainstorming, and also some fun, and build a bond with your team. Educate your team to understand the culture. Do they understand the chiropractic culture? I can tell you in Disney World and Disneyland and all of Disney properties, all the employees understand the culture of Disney. Do they understand the chiropractic culture, doctor? Have you educated them? Are you continually educating them? Is your team able, any one of them, to be able to do a 2-minute drill and explain chiropractic? If not, train on that. Are you able in 2 minutes to explain chiropractic? Dr. Ward used to have us work on this all the time, the 2-minute drill. And you have to incorporate that in your team training. Have the team member take ownership. If a team member has some sort of ownership in the practice, in the team, in the mission, stuff like that, they are more apt to be able to be congruent to where you want to go. If it's just a job that they come in from 9 to 5, then that's all it is. It's just a job. But if they have ownership, if they feel that they've been a part of the team mission, if they've been a part of the team brainstorming, then they feel that they're part of the whole package. Do you promote a happy working environment? Are you going over to the reception area and looking over the CA's shoulder to see who's scheduled and who's not scheduled? If you're having problems with scheduling, doctor, that's something that you bring up at a team meeting. Take notes of the challenges that you see throughout the practice during that week and bring them up at a team meeting and come up with a solution. This is no time for you to be standing over your CA's right shoulder and telling them, oh, what happened to Mike, or where's Tom, or did Judy pay? No, that's not appropriate, doctor. It's just like Dr. Ward used to say. Would you like them to come in and say to you, oh, I think C1 is adjust the pelvis this way? So give them their space, and you need your space. Do you reward your team? Do you have a bonus system? Do you do team activities? Like we had a beefsteak at the church. We took the whole team a couple of weeks ago, and we were rewarding them that way. We take them out for Christmas. So there are different ways that we can reward the team that you should do. Do you have a storyboard to develop your ideas and goals? In your office, there should be a storyboard in which you write down your goals and then you write down how you're going to accomplish this. This storyboard is seen by everybody. Everybody can add to the storyboard and then you can discuss it during the team meeting. What's the blueprint in your mind? This is Main Street, Disneyland, California. So when you walk into Main Street in Disneyland, California, you see 3 floors. You think that all 3 floors are occupied, and that's what the perception that Walt Disney wanted you to have, that you're walking down Main Street Americana and that you were walking through different stores and stuff. And what happens is that everything is to scale. So the first floor is full scale, everything's full. Second floor is 3/4 scale, and third floor is a half scale. So using that in your mind, your first floor, you should have gratitude, thanksgiving, and appreciation. What are you thankful for? Take 30 seconds right now and write 5 things that you're grateful for, that you have gratitude for. I know I'm grateful for the parents I had. I'm grateful for my wife. I'm grateful for my children. I'm grateful for the profession I have. I'm grateful for the home that I live in. I give Thanksgiving. I give Thanksgiving every day to God for the life He's allowed me to have and allowing me to get up and help other people. And I give appreciation for all the above. On the second floor, it's your visions, it's your dreams, it's your goals, your successes, your aspirations, and your accomplishments. What's your vision? What dreams do you have? What goals? Oh, George, I'm 65 years old, and you know what? I'm winding down, or I'm 63 years old, and I'm thinking of getting out of practice. It's just not fun anymore, and I don't want to do it. And there's this computer system and paperwork that I have to do. Is it about the insurance companies and the paperwork, doctor, or is it when I adjust that atlas, boom, and I'm freeing that power that made the body heal the body? What is it about? Are you majoring on the minors, or are you majoring on the majors? The majors are you have been assigned by God these patients to do a job. If you're excited about doing that job, if you're passionate about doing that job, if you love doing that job, then guess what? All else will follow. Do what God has intended you to do. Be successful. You can be successful. Oh, my patients just don't get it. No, no, no. You don't get it. Your patients get whatever you want them to get. It's you, the doctor, who doesn't get it. So when you get it, when you get right with yourself, guess what? Your patients will get right with themselves. And on the third floor, which is the smallest part, and when you're walking down Main Street, is where you keep your problems, your challenges, your difficulties, and your obstacles. And it's not something that you throw away and put in the back of your mind. These are real things. You have to address them, but you have to have a formulated plan on which you can address these challenges and bring them into perspective. Don't let them become your first floor or your second floor. They're your third floor. The 4 Ds. Dedication, to commit oneself to a certain cause, course of action, or thought. How dedicated are you to chiropractic? Devotion, a strong attachment to a cause given with your heart and soul. Have you poured out your heart and soul into your practice? Have you given your heart and soul to your practice? No, doctors, really, truthfully. Or have you minored on the minors? Have you majored on the minors? The patient came in and he doesn't want to pay his copay. Okay, not a patient for you. A patient came in, doesn't want to fit in the forms. No problem. They can go someplace else. When you come out of lack, then they own you. When you come out of abundance, you own them. They need us. They need us. We don't need them. Oh, George, we need our patients. Yeah, yeah. But they need us. We have what they need. We have the ability to unlock that power which is keeping them imprisoned so that they can lead a healthy, happier life. If you think it's about back pain and neck pain, you're in the wrong profession. If you think it's about changing the potential of life within that patient, then you're in the right profession. Daring. Do you have the courage to do whatever it takes? Do you have the courage to do whatever it takes? It's easy to take the non-passive way. It's easy to just put your hands down and give up the fight. It's harder to keep your hands up and keep punching until you finally knock out what you have to knock out. Are you decisive, conclusive, making a resolve to do it? Are you resolved? I hope after this talk you're going to be resolved to do what you have to do to be successful in practice. When it comes to chiropractic, ask yourself, what are you dedicated to? How devoted are you to the philosophy, science, and art of chiropractic? Are you going to seminars, doctor? Are you going to seminars to become better chiropractors? Are you going to technique seminars? Are you going to philosophy seminars? Are you studying the science of chiropractic? Are you daring enough to move out of your comfort zone and push the envelope? Are you decisive to do whatever it takes to bring the message of chiropractic to the masses? We have a big challenge in this world, doctors, and we've been assigned to tackle that challenge. It's up to you if you want to tackle it. We at PBB Systems are here to help you. We have helped chiropractors move to the level that they want to grow and be at. There is no reason why a chiropractor should not be able to live a comfortable life. Oh, you're making it about money, George? No, hey, listen, I would do it for free. If I got everything for free, I would do it for free. I have no problem. And if I want to do it for free, then I could go on a mission trip and do it for free. But when I have to live in this environment and I have expenses, it is about running a successful business. Chiropractic is a business. Sid used to say you don't get your business hand and your service hand, okay? You have a service hand and you have a business hand. They both have to be congruent. Let go of your fear. There's a law in psychology that if you form a picture in your mind of what you would like to be and you keep and hold that picture there long enough, you will soon become exactly as you have been thinking. William James. So what are you thinking, doctor? Are you thinking lack? Are you thinking not being successful? Are you thinking patients aren't going to follow through? Are you thinking patients aren't going to come to you? What are you thinking? I know that every morning when I walk into the office, I write my goals on the top of the sheet with my positive affirmation. The team, we look at it, we pray over the sheet, we talk about it, we move forward. What are you doing to get ready for the day? Get ready for game day. If you're getting up and getting to the office, if you, for example, start at 9 o'clock and you're at the office at 9 o'clock, don't show up at all. Stay home. You should be in your office by 8:30. Your team should be there by 8:30. You should be having a team meeting before you get started, going over goals for the day, action steps for the day. Who are you going to be giving referrals to? So if you have a list of 40 patients coming in that day, pick one or two patients that day in which you're going to be discussing with them, referring, and how you can help them get their loved ones into the office or their fellow co-workers. Whatever you flow energy to, that's what's going to grow. So I want to introduce a good friend of mine that has helped our practice grow. Betty Lambros has taken our social media aspect of our practice and has brought it to a different level. I want to thank him for that because you know what? With these new millennials that we have, doctors, it's a whole different animal. It's a whole different animal. We get anywhere between 2 to 5 new patients because they go on our website or they're driven to our website and then they see our website and then they call and make an appointment. It's important to have a website that's interactive and that attracts patients and makes the patients call your office and makes it easy to come to your office because they could fill out the paperwork and ask for an appointment right from the website. That's what these millennials want. Our generation, if you're 65 or older, or if you're 50 and older, is a different thing. If you're my son age, Peter, if you're in the 20s and 30s, guess what? That's how you operate. Everything is done through the internet, on the phone and stuff. That's how you should be educating them, by sending them text messages on the phone, little videos about chiropractic, because that's their vehicle and how they learn. Betty Clee, thank you for being with us this afternoon, and thank you for sharing with us. Thanks.
Dr. George, thank you for the introduction, and I would also like to thank all the attendees of the webinar today. I'm just going to keep my part short and quick. I've been working with Dr. George for over 5 years now. He's a great person, and we operate under the same mentality. We value relationships with the people that we work with, and that's where we invest our time and efforts. My background is 100% tech, and I'm part of 3 high-tech startup companies, all based in the tri-state area of New York. Prime, the company that you see here, we specialize 100% on custom, premium, high-end websites for all types of industries. We worked over the years with several types of businesses, including but not limited the health field, restaurants, attorneys, gyms, and many more. And the focus at the company is 100% quality and results. I will be sending a follow-up email to all attendees of the webinar and discuss with any of the doctors that are interested in learning more about the services, and also share success results of Dr. George's practice with several things that we've done for the practice throughout the years. And I guess I will pass it back to Dr. George to end the presentation, and we're going to leave it for QA. Thanks.
Hey, listen, thanks for joining in. I really appreciate your support. And I was excited about giving this talk. And like Dr. Ward used to say, I know you're going to say, George, you keep up pushing Dr. Ward. I love him so much that there's not enough I could say about this man that could ever give him credit for what he's done. But, you know, I'm here to help. I'm the new next generation in helping chiropractors get to where they want to be. It's important that you guys find someone that you can connect with and that can mentor you and help you. If you want any more information on our services, you can go to www.pbbsystem.com and you can go on our link, and then it'll give you all information about what we have to offer. And I want to thank you for spending time with us, and looking forward to having another webinar. I hope you enjoyed it. God bless you. And you know what? Go make it happen. Have a great day.